want to tell them what's happening this fall? Good afternoon, you guys. We have finally hit the break, the pause, the great pause, I like to call it, between first cycle and second cycle. So I am totally up. I'm totally caught up. We only had one ewe lamb last night, so I tagged her this morning. And these guys have a really nice big pen now. So everybody's running around. So these are the ladies that are left. I think I'm around 18 left or 17 left. So they have their own pen now. If they have babies, I can start setting up some lambing pens for them. But I want to keep them in a separate pen because the babies will be a different age now. So they can be in their own little group, and everybody else is literally a week apart from each other. So they started last Saturday and they finished yesterday. So that's a week of lambing. I don't think I've ever had it really that fast ever. Just in time, because today we are starting white beans. And white beans are a little fussy. They're a little meticulous. We've had some weed escapes this year, just the way the rains fell. So they are kind of, we've been waiting to actually be able to combine, and yesterday they were still a bit wet, and today they're almost a little too dry, and it's just one of these things. So so we're working on that today. That's probably going to take a few days to get those two fields off, and Ethan is coming this week to take our corn silage off. So there's no shortage of work in this, probably what will be a week break before I see lambs again. Now there might be a couple surprises, but I think for the most part, unless they're really, really late on their first cycle or really, really early on their second, they're probably not going to lamb for a few days here. So I'm kind of doing dual duty now for a bit, and Mark and I are going to talk about that in a bit, just about, we've kind of got an announcement to make. It's nothing bad or serious, but just something we kind of want to run by you guys, just how we are going to kind of move forward with some stuff, especially in the fall. So stay tuned for that. They're so cute. Oh my goodness. I love it when they're a week old. It's my favorite time. All right, I got to grab the tractor and grab some wagons because he's probably getting full. I'm out of the barn. And with our stranger.
Hello,
He's finally done his schoolwork.
Now I have a whole bunch of field work.
Now he's right back into the field. So today is first day of harvest, like his harvest.
First committed day. We tried yesterday, but the beans weren't ready.
Right. So, do we want to tell them what's happening this fall with our channel?
Sure, you can go ahead and tell them.
So, we decided we're probably going to join our channels for some of the stuff we do, probably harvest, because we're both kind of doing it, and there's really no point of him vlogging and me vlogging, and you really don't like editing. You really don't have the capacity for a lot other than harvest at harvest time.
Yeah, it's been really tough because I was able to do it last year, I guess, but when it's really nice weather all the time, it's hard because the pressure is just like bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
Where last year was wet, so there seemed to be a little bit more flexibility and having time to do stuff, but I don't know what it is this year. It just seems like I have no time for anything.
So,
which sounds bad because you actually...
Well, yeah, but I get up early, that's the difference. I'm up at like 4 doing this stuff.
I don't get up at 4.
And I don't mind editing, but, you know, for him to get his videos up, I'd probably have to start helping, and I can't edit both. So fear not, it's not going to be me holding the camera on Mark like this. He will grab his camera, I'm just going to take his footage and edit it in with mine, and then you guys get a little bit of sheep, a little bit of field work, or some days just field work and some days just sheep. And I think that's the way we're gonna run it, just because we do run we run our farm together.
That's the way it is.
It's just the way it is. You'll still have your channel up and going because he's still got a lot of good content there, and it's a good place to check out.
I might have my own videos.
Yeah,
that I want to do.
Yours are so educational. Mine's
still have
more.
A couple that I'm going to put up. I just
haven't gotten around to it yet. So anyway, that's the big news. So.
So I'm in the combine here doing the white beans like Sandy mentioned, and it's really a slow process because we have to clip the beans or cut them off right flat to the ground because the pods are really low, and I'll show you that, but it's just kind of a really slow process. When we get into soybeans, we go a lot faster. Right now I'm only going 2.4 miles an hour. We're getting more loss than I like off the header because they're potted so low to the ground, but it's just kind of 2020. That's the beans there. What I have to watch for kind of out in this area is stones, because we're going so low to the ground. We have to watch out for stones, and that's a big problem, and that's why I like to go slow, is that they're pretty viney, they're pretty flat, you can see they're kind of every which way, and it's just, you know, it's difficult. So this is not the funnest combining to do for those that combine, because it takes a lot of attention, it's a lot of concentration, and then you try to keep the sample looking good too at the same time. So we got some weeds in this field. The weed control this year, because of the weather being kind of hot and dry, was really not very good. So we have to kind of deal with that, but yeah, it's going pretty well. We got about 26 acres off, and yeah, I'll probably see if I can take a load into town later today, later tonight, but a lot different than last year, just because last year was a lot wetter weather pattern we had at harvest and late maturing, because it was a wet spring and we didn't get the crops in very early in 2019, so it pushed the maturity back in all the crops, and we really struggled. We weren't doing white beans until October last year, so it's really nice this year that we're doing beans 20th of September, but the humidity is really low. Even though the temperature is cool, humidity's low and these beans drying out pretty quick, so we gotta kind of watch quality at the same time. So growing edible beans like white beans and the black beans that we have, it's really comes down to being a labor of love. But that's the scoop.
So I'm just back to the field. It's after 6. I think it's closer to 7. I just brought Mark a drink and he's way at the back opening up the back of the field. So now I'm not really sure what to do. Wait around or go home. This will be my life for the next week or so, just not really knowing where I'm supposed to be. The one thing about lambing is I know exactly where I have to be for like morning, noon, night. But in bean harvest, not really sure. And this year we have Jess, so Jess will keep us very entertained. She'll be mediating probably a lot. Busy week last week, and I'm pretty sure this week's going to be equally as busy outside the barn. So stay tuned, guys. Thank you for being here. I hope what we do with the channel I hope it's interesting. I hope you'll follow along. Harvest, we never know what to expect. We were hoping these white beans were going to run pretty good, and I don't know, just getting off the combine with him not too long ago, I could just tell his mood had changed a little bit, so I'm afraid it's not running as good as he was maybe hoping for. So I think this dry weather, all July and a lot of August, is maybe catching up. Hopefully it's not as bad as it could be. Yeah, it's harvest. We never know what we're in for.